Hello, and welcome to episode 51 of the Mindful Knitter podcast. My name is Claire, and I am your host. This is a podcast, if you are new, about knitting, crocheting, spinning, everything yarn related, and then, of course, some other crafty things get thrown in there too. And if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. You already know what we do on this channel. Today, I'm probably going to be doing the shortest podcast episode I have ever done because I am on a timeline this morning. We're kind of running behind with some things that we need to do. So I'm going to try to just cover everything very quickly for you. And typically I post on Sundays, but we were very busy this weekend. So I'm trying to film this morning on Monday instead for you guys. So hopefully this all works out fine and doesn't feel super rushed. I'm just not going to be as chatty as usual, I think, today. So I'll go ahead and get into it with some finished objects, and then I'll do works in progress, and then I will do like upcoming projects that I have planned. So first, for finished objects, everything is like over here in a pile, so I'm like reaching for everything over here. I wanted to give you guys an update on what I was working on last time. I did finish my tank top for the 4th of July, and I did wear it for the 4th of July. I posted that on Instagram. If you want to follow me on social media, it is the.mindfulknitter on Instagram. And I post on there fairly regularly, usually at least once a week, but sometimes more than once a week. This is my tank top that I made for the 4th of July. I did not use a pattern. I just did a crocheted granny square with fingering weight yarn, and I just kind of guessed on my size, which ended up working okay, but it is too big. So next year I will take out these like extra rows I did on the side to create like a side panel, and that I think will make it the correct size. So it was too big. But it fit fine for a day. It's very cute. I do love it a lot. I think it's super cute. Just kind of big, but that's okay. Yeah, and that's the back. You can kind of see. Yeah, no pattern. I just kind of guessed. It's not a racer back. It's actually like that's flat. That's just a granny square, a giant granny square. But because I attached this ribbon like this, it turned into kind of a racer back kind of style once it was on after it draped. So I think it grew a ton because this is an alpaca yarn. The white is an alpaca yarn, and it grows a lot. It makes it very drapey and nice. I love the drape, but yeah, it just ended up being too big. But that's okay. Very cute, and I will wear this hopefully for many 4th of Julys to come. Also, what I'm wearing today, I am so sorry. I do not know what this pattern is. This was a scrappy t-shirt that I made last summer, but I have absolutely no idea what the pattern is. I think I modified a pattern, honestly. I think it's one of those like Franken sweater situations where there was a t-shirt that I've probably made many times. It was not the double take tee. Some other t-shirt though that I've made a couple of times, and I think I just modified it because these sleeves are not the double take tee sleeves. This is not the collar for that, so no idea what this is, but I'll try to stand so you can see the scrappy. I have a swimsuit on under this because we're going to be going to the water park shortly. Yeah, but I do love it quite a lot. It is very cute. Yeah, this is super nice, super summery. I love this top. I just have no idea what the pattern is, so sorry. It is just scraps of fingering weight yarn from my stash. So yeah, love it. Super cute. Sorry, I don't know what it is. Tour de Fleece is going on, so I'll share with you some finished yarn that I have made for Tour de Fleece. I think I showed you guys the fiber last time. I have finished one 4-ounce braid, and this is the finished skein of that. It's so soft and squishy, and I love it so much. but I don't know the yardage on it because I haven't measured the yardage yet. So I can't tell you the yardage, but I have finished one of these. So I have one more, and these are going to be these are being spun with the intention of knitting it into a sweater for my now 6-year-old. She was 5 and now she's 6. So I've got one more of these to spin for Tour de Fleece. Hooray. If you're not familiar with Tour de Fleece, it's an event that hand spinners kind of made up to go along with the Tour de France. And so while they're biking, we are spinning, and people come up with challenges for themselves. Sometimes they join a team. There are some competitions that go on. I'm just kind of spinning by myself. There's no competition. I'm not on a team. I'm just having fun spinning while everyone else is spinning. So I got this guy finished. Hooray for that. And speaking of the now 6-year-old, these are the things I made for her birthday. I did end up finishing her little socks. They are cute. They match her daddy's socks, which I forgot to bring with me. But this is a Patons Kroy that I knit his socks out of, and then I had leftovers, so I made her some matching socks, and I just added this pink. And they're just little like tube socks. They're no heels with these. And these were supposed to be for Father's Day so that she and he could wear matching socks for Father's Day. But I had to take a break on them because I injured my thumb. I think it was an overuse injury from too much sock knitting. And I had to switch to crochet, which was one of the big reasons why I worked on my 4th of July tank top, because I could only crochet because my thumb couldn't hold a needle very well. But she's got these for her birthday. She loves pink and blue right now, so that's perfect. If you saw a previous episode, you've seen this, or if you saw the previous episode, you've seen this, but if you didn't see that episode, this is the tank top that I crocheted for her. Again, no pattern. I just did a whole bunch of granny squares and used scraps from my stash. I'm now noticing, oh no, it's not attached. I was thinking I got all the ends. I just used scrap yarn from my stash that I knew that she would like, and I can tell what size she is. But if something's a little big for her, it's no big deal because she is 6, so she's growing, and if it doesn't fit her great now, it will fit her great shortly. So yeah, this was her little granny square tank top that I made her. She requested a granny square top, and so I made her a tank top for this summer. So I made her the socks and the tank top, and then I also made her some things for her new doll. She has been wanting an American Girl doll for quite a while, for like close to a year now. And so for her birthday, we didn't get her American Girl because, you know, fiscal responsibility. So we ended up getting her the Our Generation doll from Target, which is so much more cost effective. And they did have one that looks like almost exactly like her, so that ended up working great. And so we got her and one of the 18-inch dolls, so she has her American Girl doll. And we got her some like different accessory clothes things to go with it. And one of my coworkers gave me a bed that they were just decluttering, and I don't know if this is Our Generation bed, if it's one off, I don't know, but it's for 18-inch dolls, and it didn't have any bedding, so I made some things for it. So this is the bed that my coworker gifted to us, and this is the bedding that I made to go with it. So this is a sewing project. I do sew sometimes, but not often. I did all this by hand. I didn't use my sewing machine because honestly, my sewing machine scares me. I really need to get over that because that would be so much more time effective. This took hours to do by hand, and it would have taken maybe 30 minutes to do on the sewing machine. So that's fine. So I made her this little pillow. It's stuffed with polyfill. And then I made her this little blanket. I think all the seams ended up being very nice. I did iron the seams afterwards so that it all lies nice and flat. But yeah, all of this was done by hand, not with the sewing machine. which I will try to remedy for future projects. But it fits, you know, it's a little small. It fits like perfectly these dimensions. So I might end up adding a little something to the edges to make it a little bigger. We'll see. The other thing I'm gonna do is, I didn't have time to do this before her birthday, so I'll probably do this like maybe this week. But I'm going to do some quilting, like a running quilt stitch by hand for a Conti quilt, which is a quilting technique that's used in India a lot, or has been for like years and years and years and years. Other places in South Asia. And it's just like basically like a running stitch that you do through. Often like they have done it with like layers of fabric to get a nice drapey fabric instead of using like a batting. And they just use this like running stitch to just kind of join it all together. This is all already joined, of course, but I want to get that like little quilting texture. So I'm gonna do like that little running stitch all through here to make her a little Conti quilt. I think that'll be cute. I knocked my gnome off. This is one of my little imagined landscape gnomes that I made several years ago. Love him. It's one of my favorite things I've made, I think, ever. So cute. I don't know where he was. That seems fine. So those are the things I made for her birthday this year. And those are all my finished objects in the last couple weeks. A work in progress that I have going on right now. I actually started this in January, and then I kind of set it down because I think I got distracted by something else. Surprise. But actually that's unusual for me. Normally I start a project and I finish it fairly quickly. I don't usually have tons and tons of projects on the go. I don't really have like a pile of whips. I tend to kind of start them and I kind of want to finish them. And like I get momentum on projects. I don't really like lose interest or get distracted or yeah, so I tend to like kind of start it and then finish it. So this is kind of unusual that this went to hibernation for several months, but I started the sweater in January and it went to hibernation because I got distracted by something. And I recently pulled it back out because I finished the socks and all the other things. And I didn't have anything else like urgent at the moment. So I was like, oh, I'll do this. And then I had some continuing education stuff to do for work. So I was on the computer just sitting there a lot and I needed something to do with my hands. So this guy got pulled out. This is the Step by Step sweater by Florence Miller. A very basic kind of raglan style sweater. I did the folded neckline, which I think she has options for like almost like a turtleneck style. Of course, there's the folded. I think she had like one other option, maybe. I can't remember. It's been a while. But yeah, I did the folded neckline because I like that look. And I've got the sleeves going now, which is quick and satisfying. So I did this like a little cropped, not super cropped, but just a tiny bit cropped, which is my preferred style for tops because I'm short-waisted. And I am holding a DK weight yarn, which is a very light DK. It's almost sport weight, but it says DK on the label. This is the yarn I'm holding. I don't have the labels anymore. This was like a hand-dyed something or other I picked up at a yarn festival several years ago. It is a merino wool, and it's supposed to be DK, but it is it's light DK. I'm holding it double with a suri silk alpaca, or a suri alpaca. Yeah, a suri alpaca, which is this little fluff guy. So holding those two double to make this really beautiful kind of lighter weight sweater, but going to be incredibly fluffy and warm this winter. So I think that's speckling nicely. Just a little close up of the speckles for you. Yeah, very nice. So I think that's going to be a great neutral sweater to wear to work, and just in general. So so that's exciting. I'm knitting size 2 on that one, which was a little bit of a risk for me because normally I knit the size 3 in most patterns, but based on the measurements for that pattern, the way that I wanted it to fit on me was more of a size 2. So I think the pattern is designed to be a little bit oversized, but I wanted it to fit kind of like my regular sweaters did, so I didn't really want it to be oversized. And holding it up and everything seems like it's gonna fit just fine, so I'm not worried about the sizing on that guy. But yeah, that's enjoyable and I'm really liking that, but I'm going to take a pause on that for a little bit because I am gonna start my mom's birthday shawl. So my mom is turning 70 in a few weeks. She's turning 70 in August, and we're throwing her a surprise birthday party. She's never had a surprise birthday party in her entire 70 years of life. So I was like, we're throwing her a surprise party. That's happening. Because she's mentioned it a few times over the years, so I know she wants one. So I'm very excited. We're gonna throw her like a garden themed one, where it's kind of like in the garden of life, some flowers bloom brighter, or I can't remember all the cute stuff I found for it, but we're doing that. My brothers and my dad are helping me with that. I'm sure my sisters-in-law will help as well. And that's happening in a couple weeks. So I realized, oh, I need to start a gift for her before we do that. So it's ready in time for her secret party. So I'm going to be, I think, crocheting her a shawl. I think I'm going to do a crocheted lace shawl, just because that will be done in time, versus if I try to knit her a shawl. I do not think that would be done in time. And I also gave her already a pretty intricately knit shawl last Christmas, I think. It had tons of lace and color work and beading and all kinds of stuff. So she has a very intricate knit shawl from me already. So for this birthday, I'm going to knit her or crochet her a shawl using some yarn that she picked out when we were at a yarn store several years ago, and I just hadn't really gotten to it yet. But this is the yarn that she picked out, and she said she would like me to make her a shawl out of it. She said it didn't matter to her if it was crocheted or knit, so we're gonna do a crocheted lace shawl for my mom. And I think that'll be very light and airy, and she'll get to wear that kind of throughout the year because it won't be too heavy and warm. But the yarn that she chose is a Barocco, and it's the folio yarn in these 3 colors. This is color 88 for this. This is color 90. Or no, I think that's the dye lot. I think the color is 4562 and the dye lot's 90. You can see that there. 4518, I think, for the color here. And then this lighter purple, yeah, that is the colorway because I can see it on here. This color is 4533 for this lighter purple. And the content of this is 65% superfine alpaca, 35% rayon. And this is a fingering weight yarn, I'd say. Yeah, it's 219 yards for 50 grams. So this is a fingering weight yarn. So this is gonna turn into a shawl for my mom for her 70th birthday. I cannot believe she is turning 70 this year. That is wild. She is very active. She swims almost every day. She does lots and lots of gardening. That's why I wanted to do a garden flower themed party for her. She's like a master gardener. Yeah, she has like a farm going at this point where she's farming out in her garden as well as her flower beds. So she's like on her farm or garden game. So yeah, that's an upcoming project. I think I will start that maybe tomorrow, because today's a busy day, but I'll probably start that tomorrow. I think I'm gonna have to wrap it up here today because it is time and I need to go and do other stuff. We're again on a schedule, but thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope I didn't go too quickly through all of the projects. I know we covered a lot of things and we didn't chat a whole lot today. We were very straight to business, right to the point. So we'll chat a little bit more next time and give like life updates and things like that. But I hope that you all are well and you're enjoying your summer. I hope you're getting lots of really satisfying crafting done. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Thanks. Bye.